Good Sunday morning, wild, wild world. Just gonna grab myself some breakfast. Oh no! Trying to vlog and grab bananas is difficult. Come here, the banana! Oh no! Perfectly balanced, as everything should be. Alright, so I'm wearing black and white this morning because I have this lovely penguin tie I got for my birthday. Thank you very much. It's very pretty. It's very nice. Love how it feels. But I wanted to wear black and white today so I looked like a penguin. Because penguins are one of my favorite animals. Watch the magic of tying a tie. It's 9:30. Well, that's not gonna be long enough. Ta-da! I'm all penguined up. Except this needs to be scooted over a little bit. Just neither here nor there though. Ta-da! I look like a penguin. Alrighty, everything's set up. We are going to talk about Paul today. And how much of an enemy of God he was because of all the bad things he did, but yet God still took him and used him to do great things. And I'm going to illustrate that with worth to them with the game Telephone. And if you ever played Telephone, or I guess it's also called like Grapevine or Whispers, I don't know. Somebody says a message at the beginning, and you pass it through a line of people, and you see what the message sounds like at the end. More often than not, it gets distorted. And my application for that was saying that just like if the beginning message is God saying, you're worth it, and then the end message is us thinking, I am worthless, it's just like Telephone in that somewhere along the way, there's a discrepancy. Now see, this is what I'm so interested about, because this is where so many young people are today. And yet this never changed. God never changed that. So something happens here. All right, Bible class went pretty well. I used the same illustration that I drew and showed you that, showed it to them in class. So now it's time for worship.
I thought, well, since it maybe came to me riding, that might be a good thing to talk about. This past Friday night, I spoke at a devotional made up of a lot of people that are not like me. And that made me thinking about the term diversity, a term personally that I don't like. But I got a sense of what diversity really is as I was at that group. And, you know, I think that the real meaning of a word like diversity is that God has created us different. Boy, it'd be pretty boring if he didn't. And it was God's plan back then, now, and in the future to continue to create us differently. And yet, Paul tells us in 1 Corinthians 11 that there are no barriers at the Lord's table. If you remember, the rich were eating first and the poor were eating second. And the idea that there are barriers between us based on race, based on economics, based on a variety of things. There are no barriers for those that are in Christ, yet we put those barriers up. What a beautiful time it is to be able to partake of a Lord's Supper with people that you're actually partaking from all over the world.
They lived like they were children of the devil. And so Jesus gives us this test. And it's important, so hang on. Jesus says that your obedience demonstrates your loyalty. And we know 1 John says that as Christians, we have the great privilege of being called God's children. That's true. Jesus says the same thing. He's like our older brother, and we're adopted into the family of God. But our obedience demonstrates our loyalty.
Alrighty. Worship is done. And this is one very hot fidget spinner. Ooh. Black might look cool, but it's very hot. So yeah, heading out from the church building, one of the families was very kind and asked me out to, asked me out to lunch with them at their house. So I am now heading that way to eat of the food. And just a quick note before I forget, I don't want to forget to say this. The only reason like I film and put stuff up from church services, I want you to see what it's like to be where I am, and to be part of the congregation that I'm a part of, at least for the summer, that is. But also to see what the Lord's church is like. I don't mean it to be disrespectful in any way to film part of the Lord's Supper, film part of the lesson. If anything, you know, I'm trying to focus on what he's saying so that I can get a good part of it that's encouraging and uplifting and whatnot. So I just wanted to make sure that nobody thinks that I'm trying to be disrespectful by doing that or disruptive. I simply want to share that assembly with others and for you to see that too. So, now to the foods. Look, it's a resting kitty. Hello, kitty. How are you? Oh, you're taking a cat nap? You're so cute. Hello. Hello. Oh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know, yeah. Oh. Be careful with those ears, girl, okay? Oh. Woohoo! Alright, so I got everything edited and uploaded to go for tonight. Since I'm out of cellular data. Sadness. Apparently I used like 1.9 gigs on YouTube videos. I don't understand. Because I really didn't sit there and watch YouTube videos on my data. But, okie dokie, guess it did. Just putting my blender in the car, that way I can make smoothies in the morning since I have a bunch of frozen fruit that I need to eat this week. Well, I'm back here at Holly Hill for evening worship. The afternoon was lovely. That family actually was so nice to give me lunch, but not only give me lunch, but give me some of the leftovers. So now I have pie for later. We had peanut butter pie for lunch, it was good. And we had pot roast, which was so yummy. So, it's a great day, you know? Sun is shining. I got dinner, and it's homemade food. Oh, good stuff. Let's get started. Time for worship.
Yeah, the nation of Israel, they're just wanderers. They've been wandering in the desert for 40 years. Who are they? They're not some great military power. But God says that if they are faithful to Him, God will not fail or forsake them. This brings an important point. We know that we as Christians, we have these great promises from God, but promises from God require us following through.
I've got my leftovers from lunch that they were kind enough to give me. And now another couple asked me out to dinner, so I'm gonna hustle off and get some dinner. People are so kind and nice. I found this mildly amusing. It's a great pizza delivery vehicle. It'll get your pizza there in 30 minutes or less. Honey, I'm home. Oh wait, I'm all alone. That's right.